Ta-da!
What is up, Chubbs? What is happening, my Damien?
What it's up?
It is your girl, your favorite Chubb, back here. So, I wanted to do my 2 cents on Kirk Franklin's Father's Day, which came out a couple months ago, and I wanted to talk about it in this video. I will leave the actual video link in the description box if you want to check it out in its entirety. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, or you can go to my channel banner and click on the Instagram icon, and you can leave me a DM and I'll check it out from there. And as always, if you want to keep up with your girl whenever she uploads a video, you can always subscribe to your girl and leave a like and a comment if you choose to do so. It is free 99 and I will appreciate you. So Kirk Franklin, who is basically a gospel artist, he was born January 26, 1970 in Fort Worth, Texas, and the area he was born and raised in is Riverside, which is a small area where I guess everybody knows everybody business. Everybody knows what's going on. It's a small town. His mother name is Deborah. She is in this picture right here with her sister Sandra. And she basically abandoned him when he was 4 years old, and he was adopted by a relative. He called a distant relative. Her name was Gertrude. And he was adopted by her and basically raised alone because Gertrude was already in her 60s when Kurt came along. He did dwell on the fact that they were poor. They were poor. He didn't have nobody around. He was basically alone. It was just him and Gertrude. And basically, when he was 4 years old, Gertrude didn't have a lot, but she used to recycle cans to get money for Kurt to have piano lessons. So he literally was into music up when he was a child. At least she tried is what he said, but he was basically alone, no relatives, no nothing, which is ridiculous if he's adopted by our relatives and he had no relatives around him. His mother, Deborah, his biological mother, Deborah, would come around him once or twice a year, which, that is a lot for a child, because he compared it to being an open wound that never healed, because she would leave and come back, and he just wondered why she never took him with her. Like, he just wasn't good enough to be raised by his own mother. And the fact that, with any kid, if you're sitting up here in a situation that don't seem like it's any better, and then your mother comes around, give you all these pipe dreams, and then she leaves again, you feel like, what did I do? All I did was be born, and that's mentally debilitating. How all this came about was, it started at a funeral. It was a funeral for Deborah's sister, and everybody came to the funeral that knew Deborah's sister, including a man named Rick Hubbard. Rick Hubbard came to this funeral and was, everybody was giving their condolences and showing their respect. And Rick started talking to a childhood friend. And in the midst of having this conversation, he brought up Deborah, said, me and Deborah used to date when we were young.
Looking at Rick, they're looking at his ears, they're looking at his eyes, looking at his hands, they're looking at his height. And so the rumor mill kind of starts to happen in the church, and then it gets the ears of Deborah. Deborah hears about that there's a man that could be Kirk Franklin's dad.
Deborah, let me highlight this. Deborah had no contact with Kirk for 23 years. And she managed to get this man's number so she can beat everybody to the punch before it got to Kurt, saying, oh, well, you can't believe what you hear. Basically gaslighting him.
If you would like to talk to me about the rumor that is floating around out there, call back. Just remember, as I told you once, I will not lie to you about anything. End of message. Delete.
With all this circulating with the rumors, Rick Hubbard had enough. He went and bought a DNA testing kit, swabbed his own mouth, and there is a lady that sings with Kurt, but is also a friend of Kurt's, named Melanie, who her father is friends with Rick Hubbard, and he gave the test to Melanie and said, basically, I'm just trying to end these rumors, and just want to, I don't know anything. If you can give this to Kurt, he can do whatever he wants. He cannot get tested. He can get tested, but I'm giving this to him. I'm passing it on to him. He can do what he wants with it. I'm just trying to dead this rumor, see what's going on. So she gave Kurt the test. Kurt was like, yeah, I want to get this done. So basically he went and got himself tested, and this is the result.
The results are probable paternity, 99.99999%.
Percent what?
Yes, he's your father.
This man is my father? My mama lied to me again?
At the end of the day, his father was literally at arm's reach. This man stays down the street from Kurt's recording studio. And rightfully so, why Kurt said my mom lied to me again is the fact that through his life, his mom was pinpointing this man being his father, that man being his father. And it basically ended up on the shoulders of a man named Dwight Allen. And Kurt basically was upset and had all this animosity to this man, and he ended up dying from cancer. He went and saw Dwight and made peace with him, and Dwight basically just took it all in, didn't say anything about, yeah, this might be a possibility, I may not be your father or nothing like that. He basically took the lashings of this woman's lies and went to the grave with it. And Kurt felt horrible because he spent a lot of years hating a man that was not even his father, because his mother, whatever she's protecting of herself, she just basically lied to everybody. Nobody knew nothing. Kurt went to visit Rick Hubbard to his home, and he gave him the results. And of course, Kurt was nervous because he had never met this man. So he went to visit him with the results.
It's not your fault. You didn't know. I'm sorry. Hey, didn't know. I didn't, man. And had I known, you would have known. And I would have been a... You didn't know.
Just hearing the pain, there's the hurt in Rick and also Kurt's voice, like so many years lost, because this woman basically, I think people lie so much that they start to believe them. They really do. And Kurt said, right now, all I want is a hug from my father. And Rick had no problem, gave it to him because it was genuine. It was just ridiculous of how far this lie has gone. This man has went without his father for 53 years. His life could have probably been totally different. That very same day, this is all in one day, when he gave the results to Mr. Hubbard, he was going to go see his mother. Mind you, he had not seen this woman in 23 years. Okay? No talk, no conversation, no nothing. And they was going to meet, I'm guessing, at his Aunt Sandra's house. Now, I only saw a clip at one point before I saw the actual documentary. I said, well, his aunt seems, concerned about all this. But then she's a gaslighter too. Because, mind you, have not spoken to none of these people in years. And the fact, and I'm a product of a person born in the South. They want certain relatives want the title of being aunt and uncle and all types of stuff. I don't know you. And the fact that she would get upset because he called her Sandra, Miss Sandra, and she like, who? Like, I don't need to call you aunt because you ain't been in my life. So why do I need to give you this title for somebody I don't even know? You're lucky he didn't call you by your last name. Okay, he could be that formal. But him getting to her house and the way she approached him was very disrespectful.
Hi.
Get your ass out.
Did she sign the paper?
I ain't signed shit yet. Come on.
You have to sign the paper.
I will, on the inside.
No, sign it right now, Auntie Sandra, please.
Oh.
When Kurt was not playing no games, he was like, release papers need to be signed. I'm going to sit in this car until you sign them papers. And I'm just, you can't respect nobody. And that's why I'm like, especially being in a product of being with a Southern family, they do not see you as adults. It's like a lot of them just still see you as children, and they will make you feel like you're about 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm an adult. If I'm respecting you, you can respect me. And it's like a hard pill to swallow for them to respect you as an adult. You are no longer a child. So they go into the house, and he gives them the papers that proves that this is his father. And of course, Deb is already chuckling, talking about, oh, this is not true and everything else. And you know, with a lot of black people, what they do, they swear on the dead.
Baby, I can swear on my dead mother's grave. Rick Hubbard is not your father.
I tell you, a lot of people, especially black people, love swearing on the dead because why? The dead don't talk. They're no longer here. They can't be like,
hey, you know what, bro? You gonna stop lying on my name? You need to tell him the truth.
They swear on the dead all the time because the dead don't talk. They're not going to come to Kurt and be like,
oh, well, you need to go ahead and tell him the truth and everything else.
That's why they love swearing on the dead. Deborah demands a second test to be done. They do the second test. It comes out the same. Rick Hubbard is this man's father. Okay. At this time, they did it in a conference room. They met all in a conference room and did the test, end up being his father. And what does Deborah do? She rejects it again.
Test it out, put it in front of you. I need to hear you. I need to hear you clearly. The little Kirk, the little boy Kirk needs to hear you. Are you saying that you reject the results of these two tests? That's what I need to hear.
Yes.
The fact that this woman took no accountability, she apologized. What are you apologizing for? All he wanted was the truth. You couldn't give him that. He didn't want nothing from you but the truth. Her sister's still covering for her because all she keeps saying is all he wants is the truth. You know it. You know it, but you got so much, you're all on the rah, 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 sis, boom, bob for your sister that you are continuing the trauma of keeping her dirty little secret instead of healing this child of all he wanted was somebody to truly love him, and nobody could not stand on their own 2 feet. Like, this bullshit needs to stop. It needs to stop. You need to tell him the truth. Nope. And then, and true narcissistic behavior, Miss Deborah decides she wants to cry and try to make it about her.
I need my mom.
And I need my son too. I have wanted this so badly.
If my mama watches this, I want her to know.
And I still can't have you.
All he wanted was the truth, and she couldn't give him that. That was free 99. Free 99, and she could not give him that. So he let it go. Let her go on by her way and moved on from Deborah. He decides that he's done. Now, Kurt also has the repaired relationship of his son, Karan, because, you know, if you get into the, you know, outlets that him and his son has a very strained relationship and have not spoken in 2 years, and he decides to come to Karan with the results of him finding his father, and he's starting the process of healing his relationship with his son to the fact that he wanted that done with his mother, and his mother just like, nah, I want to be alone with my own delusions, and he's letting her have that. So I'm happy that he is working on his relationship with his son, because in some way, somehow, this toxic trait has to end. It has to end in all Southern families, all families, period. All this toxic trait has to end. At the end of the day, all this has to stop. All this passing the baton of trauma, of relatives in between families. It doesn't matter what it is. We need to stop holding secrets for people just to keep the family name intact. But for what? And looking at this family, Kurt's biological family is all jacked up. All jacked up. Everybody is holding secrets for somebody and nobody's telling the truth. And the fact that she could not even give him that was just ridiculous. And I'm happy that he has decided to heal his own trauma, and I'm happy that he has finally found his father. Yes, it's been years, but this is all on the lives of one person that could not take accountability for nothing. Well, that is the end of this video. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, or go to my channel banner and click onto the icon of the Instagram and send me a DM, and I'll check it out there. And that is it. And I don't have to tell you what I need to do. I'm put at the bottom of the screen. And if you stay to the end, thank you for coming around my way.
Sarate.